And welcome back to the weekly wrap, and that's right, episode 4, the one after 3 and before the inevitable ratings drop. They say good things come in 3, so we're already pushing our luck. But hey, Fast and Furious made it to 10, and if Vin Diesel can make a family plotline, surely I can stretch mild confusion and sarcasm to at least episode 5. 4 episodes in and still no sponsor. Episode 4 because trilogies are for quitters. We're not stopping until someone files a cease and desist, or at least a noise complaint. So 4, watch your heads because we're diving straight into another week of Aussie news chaos. Let's get to the news. Good evening from the River City. When your city was absolutely hammered by cricket-sized hailstones, or as us Queenslanders call it, nature's version of Keno, people woke up with smashed windscreens, shredded gardens, and a Bunnings gazebo that had somehow migrated to 3 suburbs. It was like the sky decided to empty out its esky. Seriously, it looked like Elsa from Frozen went on a bender. The hail hit so hard that insurance companies have left people on hold forever. They don't want to have to deal with it. The Bureau of Meteorology described it as a supercell event. Now, I don't know about you, but supercell sounds less like a weather pattern and more like Telstra's new unlimited data plan, which, as a matter of fact, was down because of the rain. As the sunny skies came back, the Brisbane locals were quick to put their dented cars on Facebook Marketplace. It was practically new and it comes with character, is what the description read. So let's see if we are still talking about weather next week. Meanwhile, over in Europe, a tourist finally returned a skull he stole 60 years ago. Yep, you heard that right. 6 decades of holding on to a cathedral souvenir that was hardly the perfect fridge magnet. Along with the skull, he sent a letter apologising for taking the skull. In the letter, he claimed he felt haunted by guilt as he neared the end of his life. But I think he was just doing an end-of-year clean-out and remembered he still had it. He probs hoarded it ages ago, thinking he had use for it, as most of us men do. Custom officers said it was in perfect condition, so we can rule out the skull wasn't delivered by Ozpost or Jetstar. The skull has now been returned home, back to the cathedral where it belongs, and judging by the look on the skull's face, it already wants out of that Sunday church service. I used to hate it when my mum and dad would hear stories of video games in the media. They'd issue warnings saying video games are bad, and when my parents heard the news, I'd get banned from playing them. I hated news anchors for that reason. Now I am one, doing the exact same thing for your parents, or your kids. Researchers are warning about the link between video games and gambling behaviours. And no, I'm not talking about the Dragon Link. Young players are finding themselves buying loot boxes, which are practically pokies for little kids. Money goes in and you could get a reward. Except instead of losing your money at the pub, you're losing your money in your pyjamas. Young players are being conditioned to chase rewards, similar to pokies. But if I were to give you any bit of advice, quitters don't win and winners don't quit. Chase that loot box, boy. Just kidding. Or am I? Parents say it's dangerous, kids say it's just a game, and psychologists are rolling their eyes so hard they need a joystick themselves. The mechanics are simple. Spend cash, get shiny digital stuff, feel a rush, repeat. It's basically a PhD in disappointment with extra credit for credit card debt. But in a few years' time, all those digital rewards will be worth nothing. Just like last week's pokey wins. You've probably lost that all too. And in Canberra this week, a big old political backflip that would have scored a perfect 10 at the Olympics. The Nationals have decided they're no longer supporting Australia's net zero by 2050 plan. Yep, the same one they agreed to only a few years ago. It's like promising to go to the gym, buying the membership, and then saying, actually, I've done enough squats for life. They said the plan's too costly, could hurt farmers, and that regional Aussies are paying the price, which is a fair point. But let's be honest, they also said the same thing about reusable bags. Meanwhile, Labor's sticking with it, saying we need to stay the course, which sounds inspiring until you realise the course is basically a group project where nobody's doing the readings. The Prime Minister called the Nationals' move a massive backflip, but to be fair, at least someone in Canberra is getting some physical activity. Some experts say we can reach net zero with renewable energy, electric vehicles and cleaner industries, which is great, assuming you can find an EV charger that isn't already being used by a Tesla driver watching Netflix. So for now, we're aiming for net zero by 2050, or as it's better known, the climate change version of I'll start my diet on Monday. This week, the 5-second rule was debunked. You know that saying, 5-second rule? Well, yeah, it turns out it's more like 5 seconds to food poisoning. This week, scientists have officially crushed the dreams of anyone who's ever dropped a nugget and thought it's still good to eat. According to the experts, bacteria can jump onto your food faster than Aussies onto a flight sail to Bali. They found that even in under a second, your food picks up a healthy serving of germs and not the probiotic kind. And speaking of germs, let's talk about mould. Apparently, scraping it off doesn't make it safe. Again, that's right, if you've ever said it's only a little bit on the corner and scraped it off, congratulations, you've been eating fungal lasagna. Experts say the mould you see is just the tip of the mouldberg, and underneath, a network of spores spreading faster than gossip in a group chat. Well, we've all been there. You see something online that looks too good to be true, and sure enough, it actually is too good to be true. A new survey from Standards Australia has found that a whopping 82% of Aussies know the products they're buying from overseas or discount sites might not meet our safety standards, but we're still clicking add to cart anyway. In fact, almost 2/3 of Australians say the cost of living pressures are pushing them towards these cheaper and sometimes dodgier products, from e-scooters and toys to power tools and phone chargers that look more like a fire hazard than a bargain. It's a reminder that the internet is full of great deals and the occasional electrical explosion waiting to happen. And with Choice this week handing out their annual Shonky Awards, including a big dishonourable mention to Temu, calling it an unsafe haven for dodgy sales tactics and fast fashion, it's a timely reminder that cheap doesn't actually mean cheerful or safe. So what's really driving this trend? And how can we shop smart without getting zapped? Joining us this evening is Temu salesperson Terry Temu to unpack these results. We decided to go straight to the source, and joining me now is the man himself, the king of near enough is good enough. Terry Temu, online retailer and self-proclaimed bargain visionary, joins me this evening. Good evening, Terry.
Thanks, Harrison. Great to be here. I just finished packaging a Bluetooth microwave, which is on a flash sale. For $5, you get a microwave that plays music and even smokes your food.
A microwave smoker, that's new.
I know it's only meant to microwave, but our product smokes the meat too. It's a win-win. Saves you the trouble of buying a smoker and a fire alarm.
Terry, the research says most Australians know these overseas products don't meet safety standards. Why do you think people are still buying them?
Oh, simple, mate. Value. Who needs safety when you get a 90% off toaster that mostly toasts? I mean, sure, it might shock you, but that's how you know it's working. It's interactive, it's immersive, it's 4D breakfast.
Right, and speaking of shocks, in Queensland recently a young woman was burned after wearing a jumper bought from your site. What's been done to prevent that from happening again?
Oh, absolutely. Very, very serious stuff. We've completely removed all unsafe jumpers from our website. Gone, deleted, erased.
Look, that's really good to hear, Terry.
We are now proud to introduce our brand new line of thermo warm comfort tops. Same material, same spark, just a fresh name.
But isn't that the exact same jumper in a different name?
Well, it is, but it's got a completely new name, so technically it's fine. It's like when politicians rebrand, problem solved.
Terry, this isn't exactly reassuring.
Oh, relax, mate. I'll throw in a free electric toothbrush. It's waterproof, mostly. Just don't plug it in near a sink.
I think I'll pass on that one, thanks.
Yeah, cool. How about a certified safe-ish phone charger? Glows in the dark and occasionally smokes for ambience.
Terry, are you even listening to yourself right now?
Oh, of course. But more importantly, are you listening to this special offer? 2 for 1 if you buy before the ACCC logs on.
Terry, people are turning to sites like yours because of the cost of living pressures. Isn't there a responsibility to keep prices fair and products safe?
Oh, mate, we do keep prices fair by cutting out all the unnecessary extras like testing, safety checks, and, employee wages.
Sorry, what was the last one?
Oh, nothing. Just saying our staff are very motivated, mostly because we lock the Wi-Fi until they hit their sales target.
That's horrifying, Terry.
Come on, Harrison, we're not some evil corporation, we're a family. Family that works 19-hour days in an abandoned warehouse, but a family nonetheless.
Terry, this is sounding less like a business model and more like a cry for help.
Help we can't afford, mate, because thanks to cost of living, even therapy's on Afterpay now.
Alright, well, I think that's where we'll leave it. That was Terry Temu proving once again that just because something's cheap doesn't mean it won't cost you later. But now, it's time for the final story. It was the race that stopped the nation, the Melbourne Cup. This year, the 2025 Cup was claimed by Half Yours, a 5-year-old horse ridden to glory by Jamie Mellum. It was a historic win as Mellum became the first rider to ever claim both the Caulfield and the Melbourne Cup in the same season. Legendary. But let's talk about betting, because if you put your hard-earned dollars on this year's Cup, there's a very real chance you lost them. The Melbourne Cup is the absolute worst race to bet on. 24 horses, unpredictable weather, a massive field. You could pick your horse with your eyes closed and still lose. And everyone does. Everyone bets, everyone hopes, and everyone loses. It's like paying an entry fee for heartbreak. This is the race that stops the nation and also stops common sense. One moment you're imagining yourself sipping champagne in the winner's circle. The next, you're staring at your empty betting account, wondering where it all went wrong. But as always, the Cup comes with its drama. This photo went viral of the winning horse crossing the line with blood in its mouth. Vets say it's just a minor cheek laceration. The horse is fine, but it does make a lot of people feel uneasy. Many animal activists will say, how will a human like it? And I get that. That photo looks ugly. But let's do that. Not the blood or the whipping, but a Melbourne Cup style race with humans. Well, this week was the Melbourne Cup, and a lot of people say it's cruel for the horses to run. Well, I thought I'd get the boys to ride the e-scooters and race, but why don't they run it on foot just like the horses?
$100 on red. Lightning McQueen, baby. If you're not first to last.
So we just saw a bunch of scientists race in cardboard box cars. I think it's time to meet the racers. All right, what's your horse name?
Bald Eagle.
Are you going to take it home today?
On that poxy lawnmower, yeah, mate.
What's your horse name?
Mutters.
Are you going to take it home today?
You know it, baby.
These two, the Bald Eagle and Mutters, racing. Foot race, all for the grand prize of $100. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Touch glass.
Get down, bro.
This is how I start my race.
Alright, you ready? Alright. Yeah, on your marks. Set. Go. What the fuck? I don't know if the Bald Eagle jumped the gate early, but let's go back and see that replay.
Take your marks. Set. Oh, the Bald Eagles. That's a false start. He's racing away, though. Zavi can't catch him. The Bald Eagle. Straight to the steward's room for that one.
How do you feel?
Bro, I'm gonna go to the gym.
How do you feel?
On the time.
And the Bald Eagle takes the win as expected. Unlucky Mutters. Maybe get him next time. But the Bald Eagle, he is the grand winner of the $100 today. Congratulations, Bald Eagle. Take that home. You're the winner of today's Melbourne Cup. Brisbane Cup.
100 on red.
So what did we learn today? We learnt that nature has a wicked sense of humour. Cricket-sized hailstones don't care about your car, your gazebo, or your Monday morning mood. That 60 years is apparently the perfect length of time to hoard a cathedral skull and maybe finally feel guilty. That video games and loot boxes are basically pokies for kids and parents will always find a reason to roll their eyes. We also learned that politics is the only place where backflips score points, climate change plans included, that bargain shopping is thrilling, terrifying and occasionally slightly combustible. Thank you, Terry Temu. And finally, that the Melbourne Cup is the perfect mix of glory, heartbreak and chaos for horses, humans and punters alike. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you next week on the Weekly Wrap for episode 5. Alright, you on your marks, set, go.
What the fuck? Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. Come in here.